Hey y'all, I just wanted to update you with what's been going on. So, as of the editing of this part, Vote for Holt uploaded Act 3 of the series that inspired me to make this series. It was very fortuitous because I had actually just finished recording the end of Act 3 by this point, which I'm actually very happy about. So I just wanted to bring that up since, yes, I know that Act 3 is out, but no, I didn't see the Act 3 video until I was actually completely done with my recording session, so nothing could spoil me. But considering that I don't even want to bring up the name of the video, but you could kind of see it when I edit it in. Either way, I want everyone to know that I love this game, and a more in-depth review is going to be at the end when we actually go and get 100% of the game. But yeah, I love this game so much, and thank you all for watching this with me. It's been fun. Now, let's actually get back to the video about me opening this safe. Okay, June is the 6th month. July is the 7th month. Uh, oh, there we go. King. Codicil to last will and testament of I, Charles Roberts of First Maple Drive, Painscreek, New London, 25115 address, being of sound mind, declare this codicil of my last will and testament dated July 1st, 1975, effective as of the day of June 21st, 1975. Item 1. Article 6b of my will shall be modified to read, should a boy be born of the Roberts family that is of a direct lineage to Charles Roberts, he if he is the eldest son and no other contest, he shall inherit all of my family's fortune upon Charles Roberts' passing. The rule condition to this is that the son must be 25 years of age. Item 2. Article 6a of my will shall be stricken in its entirety. The firstborn son of the Roberts family shall inherit 50% of the family's fortune should Charles Roberts pass away. Item 3. Article 11 should be added to my will that read, Vincent Roberts, born of Charles Roberts and Sophia Miller on June 1st, 1975, in Painscreek, New London, shall be officially acknowledged as a family member of the Roberts family effective July 1st, 1971. July 31st, 1995. I cannot believe that Scott killed my wife. It's being spewed all over the media. How? Why? He loves Trisha and I treat him like my own son. It doesn't make any sense. August 13th. I visited Scott today. I asked him why he would kill Vivian. He did not answer, but simply looked down at the floor. I wanted an answer so desperately that I nearly rattled his neck. Does he even feel any guilt or remorse for what he's done? How can he not say anything? November 22nd, 1995. I visited Scott again today, knowing that he will be released soon. There just wasn't enough evidence to pin him. He looked thinner than before, but I didn't care. I wanted to know why he killed Vivian. When I asked, he stared at me. I was so angry that I yelled at him. I was about to leave when out of nowhere he said, I pity the ignorant. What the hell does that mean? Okay, Scott. Going to a serial killer phase, I guess. I mean, to be fair, this is leading a little bit harder into Scott going from optimistic and cheerful into depressed. Like, suddenly makes him, like, a little bit more. Go up a little bit higher, but, like, he's not completely pulled off the list like I thought he was earlier. November 2nd, 1995. Got drunk last night at the inn. Scott is now a free man. I think I babbled about how much I despised Scott and what I would do to have someone get rid of him. Did I really say that? How did I get home anyways? Oh right, Bernard was with me. He drove me home. First National Bank routing number, email password, study room desk hint, chess pieces, king, queen, bishop, knight. Okay. Might as well just unlock that now then. Okay, so this is my thought. I have 3 numbers, and I could just brute force it. It's a little shameful, and they're probably gonna give me the bishop in a bit. There we go. It was knight, queen, bishop, king. Interesting, it actually like threw me for a loop there. Beckard's Investigation Services, dated July 1st, 1995. To Charles Roberts. Upon your request, we investigated Andrew Reed and Henry Johnson's deaths. Due to confidentiality agreements with our sources, we are unable to reveal the true nature of their deaths. Suffice to say, both of them did not die of said accidents. So we dug deeper. We found that Andrew and Henry were both related to the disappearance of Sophia Miller and the death of Magdalene Roberts 20 years ago. What really happened to Sophia we do not know as of now, however, some evidence has been brought to light regarding Magdalene Roberts' death. We talked to a retired nurse who used to work at Painscreek Community Hospital. Although she preferred to remain anonymous, according to her, she came across a note while cleaning Dr. Johnson's office. In it, Dr. Johnson stated that the prescription was lethal to be administered only to Magdalene, and the dosage is to be precise or it will not work. No one else should intake it. A letter made out to your wife, Vivian Roberts, according to the note. As you would like for us to, if you would like for us to stop the investigation, let us know at your earliest convenience. Otherwise, we will continue to find out the truth about Sophia's disappearance. Sincerely, Jason Beckard. Dated February 3rd, 1996. To Charles Roberts, our investigation was initially promising. We interviewed possible witnesses who might know something about Sophia's disappearance. Months later, however, we were nowhere near knowing what happened to Sophia. We searched through all of the states for any possible trace, but to no avail. What we can conclude at this time is that the main cause of Sophia's disappearance has to do with Andrew, Henry, and Vivian. Now that they are gone, we are unable to get the truth of what really happened to Sophia. If you would prefer, we can still continue the search, however the results look bleak. We have posted rewards for any information regarding Sophia, hoping that it's just a matter of time before someone with real information steps up. For the time being, we suggest that you wait. Should anything emerge, we will let you know. November 18th, 1995. Months ago, night before Vivian was killed, I confronted her about Mom's death. She said she didn't know anything about it. She only administered the medicine as provided by Dr. Johnson. She was lying. I could see it in her eyes. She was scared that she was hiding her fear. I know that Vivian was never completely truthful with me, but I still have no proof yet. She never liked Mom, but I couldn't have thought her capable of killing her own mother-in-law. I know that she had something to do with what happened to Mom and Sophia. But what can I do? She was my wife after all, and now Vivian is dead. So is Scott now. Trisha is dead too. This is my punishment for the affair I had 20 years ago. The story of Charles Roberts. His story ends in this drawer, lamenting the fact that both of his children are dead. It is a bit sad. So, let me just take stock of what keyholes we have left. Okay, so something I didn't actually know until I was watching the Act 2 video. I could just pull up this and then just have all of the notes up like that. Yeah. Oh, I thought I should also mention, if Derek is suspicious of who sent that note to the detective, then so is Scott for also having a typewriter here as well. But the thing is that Scott died before the investigation in 97. So it feels weird for him to have been the one to type out that letter. So it still makes me think that, still points to Derek as being a little suspicious because of that. Okay, so one of the things I don't like is that this should have just updated the map that we had. I don't like the fact that I have to take a picture of that to have a map with all of the names onto it. So, the red box that's over here, I'm going to refer to as the birdhouse box. And inside the cemetery is the time capsule. We still have yet to find the time capsule because we haven't gotten past that gate. We've searched Dorothy's house. We still need to find a way into the backyard. We've searched Bernard's house. We need to find a way to open up that board on the ground. We visited Derek and Wanda's house. We're gonna figure a way to pry open the side table. At Dorothy's house, we need to find a way into that upstairs room and into her backyard. Bernard also has the dart puzzle that I know how to get the combination. I'm just waiting until I actually see it in front of me. Which means literally the only place we can go as our final bottleneck is the sewers. You know, it is really funny. I was talking in an earlier episode about my agoraphobia. I have absolutely no claustrophobia. I don't have a fear of tight enclosed spaces. I don't know, like, I remember someone tried to label me as claustrophilic, where it's like I like being in enclosed spaces, but I don't think that's exactly true. It's just that I've always liked... Okay, side story. I got in trouble once for putting myself into my locker at school so that I could be stuck in there and play my Game Boy for all of gym. It was a very funny experience to try to explain to the gym teacher, like, oh yeah, I just put myself into this locker, no one put me into here. It's just something I've always done, but, you know, kind of funny. Now that I think about how maybe some of those things are connected. Just a little. Okay, near postal service. Blocked off. I think that means that we can't actually go into the post office unless that break right there is supposed to be a door. Here, let me like zoom in so you can see. So we have the crossed out lines, which I'm gonna guess are gates or Yeah, I'm gonna guess are gates. The X's are blocked passages that we can't go down. And then the square on the lines, well, rectangle on the lines are doors. So I'm going to guess that this old sewer entrance connected with the sewer entrance on Black Pine Road. You know, out of everything that I've actually retained from being a Boy Scout is actually like how to read maps. It's the only real useful piece of information. Like I had the merit badge for like accounting and stuff, but no, clearly that isn't the thing I needed to retain. I'm so ashamed of myself. So I was running back and forth up and down this place. I'm like, where is it? And I walk up here, and then it catches my eye that it's actually over here. And here I am saying I could read maps. Great. Whew. Okay. So the reason why I kind of wanted to tell the story about my lack of claustrophobia is for some reason the only place that I've never really felt safe in a video game is in sewers. Okay, so yeah, those double hashed lines are gates. Okay, path to mansion. It's blocked off. Why are you making creepy music? Uh... No, that's the one to Maple Drive? This is the path that leads to the mansion. The top has been sealed shut. Okay, so I guess I can't go to the mansion through the sewers. I guess the next one on the list is the farmer's market. That would lead to the farmer's market, but... I don't think there's a way to unlock these doors. Okay, so here's the bend. So there should be an intersection. Yep, there it is. This intersection goes to Silver Lake Boulevard, but does not look like it does any longer. This door is bolted from the other side? Painscreek Trinity Church and the residential housing. Okay. So I need to figure out how to get into the basement of the church another way. I thought I needed to get into the basement from the church from here, but it looks like it just doesn't want to give me that right now. Let's head to the one that is near the post office. Yeah, I figured that the post office would be shut as well. Okay, let's make the left turn up here. Okay, so the place that would go to residential houses is locked. The door here leads to nothing. Let's keep going all the way past. And let's save the hospital for last, so go past the first intersection, then take the second intersection. This one would have led to the river. Interesting. So I'm guessing the only reason to go into the sewer... I thought there was a body for a second. Is to get to the door that leads underneath the hospital. Cool. Like, I'm not opposing that. I feel like that there could have been a little bit more. Oh, that's like a morgue. Oh, I came out of the janitor's closet. Okay. Stephen Moss's wallet. April 16th, 1997. I called Dorothy last week. She told me something interesting about Sophia. It was a puzzle that she received from Matthew when she first started working at the mansion, sort of a birthday gift for her. In that puzzle, Sophia was to visit both hers and Matthew's favorite locations in Painscreek. In each location lies a clue that Matthew had written on the wall of the building exterior. The clues, when put together, will point her in the location of her gift. I thought that was a neat idea. Sophia's favorite places is Anne's courtyard, the bridge over the stream by the gate entrance, and the post office. Why would someone like the post office? And where can I find Matthew's favorite places? I received an annoying message this morning claiming that Scott wasn't Vivian's killer. Unfortunately, that's all I got. I've had my doubts whether Scott really killed Vivian. He sure it has the motive, but reading all of his diaries and looking through his investigation notes, I can't help but think that Scott didn't kill Vivian. On the contrary, he was trying to figure out who killed Vivian, as well as what really happened to Andrew Reed and Dr. Johnson. 6 days later, and I still don't know if this anonymous person is a man or a woman, but they helped solidify my thoughts on Scott. April 29th, 1997. I received another message yesterday. It told me to look into Bernard, the mansion's butler. Can't help but feel that the person is trying to tell me something, but not exactly what. The message said I will find something in the house. Today I received a key in the mail with the initials of BH. Does it stand for Bernard's house? Oh, Bernard Hopkins. Okay. I was like, why would he engrave Bernard's house on the key? April 30th, 1997. I've searched everywhere and read all of Bernard's diaries. Maybe something just doesn't add up. Maybe it's just a hunch, or simply that I'm thinking too much. But would he really have killed Vivian? There's something else about his entries that makes me pause and wonder if he was indeed a murderer. I photographed all the pages. BH. Briefcase key. Which one is that? I cannot... it's so hard to see the text. They would have let me pick it up if it was important. But yeah. That's not Bernard's last. That would have been morbid if I could actually open up any of these, but like... I had to check. Nice to know that this storage room can open. A claw hammer. Nice. I instantly know what to use that for. Electrical room. I just realized something. If the hospital, someone actually did flip this breaker, it means that someone was in the building when I was here, ran down here, barred the door, turned this off, went into the sewers, came out. Which means they actually were probably still around. Great. Actually, while I'm here, I might as well actually use the key card on the door. Oh. Vivian Roberts, May 29th, 1993, from the desk of Henry Johnson. Oh, from the desk of Vivian Roberts to Henry Johnson. Dear Henry Johnson, I would like to thank you for your contribution to the Painscreek Community Hospital and the people of Painscreek for the past 2 decades. However, there have been reports regarding the mishandling of funds designated for PCH, most of which came from the Roberts Relief Fund. This support was meant to help the purchases of medical equipment and supplies, since the sum of nearly $160,000 has been estimated missing. We have no other choice but to open an investigation. Until you are able to explain the discrepancies between your accounting and ours, we have no choice but to suspend all funding for the hospital for the time being. I will be meeting you and your accountant to solve these issues so we may continue to support the hospital's needs. Sincerely, Vivian Roberts. Wanda gets diagnosed with cancer shortly after she pulled the funding for the hospital. That's interesting. Like, I thought the funding was pulled a lot later than that. Influential citizen Henry Johnson, given in 1983. The State of Newland Awards. Right, Newland.
Henry, I just received a letter from the NMB investigation firm regarding the use of the RRF funds. I need you to call me. Henry, we really need to talk. Please call back. What's going on, Henry? Why aren't you returning my calls? This is really important.
I'm guessing that's Vivian's voice. Room 203. That's Trisha's room. At least I believe so. Yeah. So he locked her door and left the key in his desk. That's a bit interesting. To Charles Roberts, I don't know if this is a joke that you sent me the threat letter, but if you knew about the well, then you must have found out the truth. Just so you know, your wife was the one behind it all. If you have any grudge, it's with her, not me. I was just a witness in Sophia's death, nothing more. Henry Johnson, June 30th, 1995. Backs it tomorrow. He dated this the 30th. He vanishes on the 28th. On the 30th, he sneaks back into his office to put this note into there? That feels a bit weird. You know what you did. Meet me at the well at midnight. Same raised E. You know which one. Come alone. Is that actually the, I think that might actually be the same note from the inside of the car. Yeah, so the only thing we really got out of this room is a little bit of a lead towards Charles, actually, which is not what I was expecting coming into this room. Because just as the suspicions around Scott started flaring up again, suspicions around Charles also started flaring up. And I'm like, okay. Lots of storybooks. Linen. Yeah, I'm guessing no one has touched Happily Ever After. Yeah, I'm guessing no one has touched this room since Dr. Johnson disappeared, maybe. Scott Brooks's body found by jogger with multiple stab wounds to the heart. November 16th, 1995. Police do not know if this is tied with the murder of Vivian Roberts. By Hudson. Scott's body was found behind a bush on Maple Drive. The police are currently investigating the case. His body, yeah. Around 6 a.m., a jogger happened by a body lying motionless behind a bush on the side of the road. He stopped to check if the person needed help, only to notice that the body was covered in blood, and immediately called 911. The police arrived shortly around 7 a.m., and the victim was declared dead. The estimated time of death was predicted to have happened 4 to 6 hours prior, putting the incident to have occurred around 1 a.m. Questions have been raised in regards to the murder of Vivian Roberts, of which Scott Brooks was the key suspect of. He had been released from prison due to insufficient evidence. Looks like a room key. Whose room did Trisha have the key for? It could be possible that this is Dorothy's, Oliver's photo studio key that Dorothy had that she then gave to Trish? It is possible. This is the briefcase key. Oh, no, this is Dorothy's journal, so it makes sense for why Dorothy's key is sitting on top of the journal. Yesterday, on hearing that Scott was apprehended for the murder of her mother, Tricia collapsed. The hospital called this morning to inform us that she had a nervous breakdown. However, they've suggested that she should stay here for another few days. Charles is asking me to stay by her side. It rained today. Tricia had always hated the rain. She stayed in bed tucked under the blanket nearly the entire day. Here and there she mutters Scott's name out loud. She cried herself to sleep a few times. It pains me to see her like this. August 22nd. Charles visits Tricia almost every day. Today he was quieter than usual. All of a sudden he told me that Vivian had been seeing another man, apparently a banker, for more than a year. He asked me if Vivian ever talked to me about it, and I said I didn't know anything, but was sure that Vivian would never have done such a thing. Then I realized that Tricia was awake. I'm not sure if she heard our conversation. September 8th. Sheriff Howard came today. He asked me if I remember seeing anything suspicious the night Vivian died. I've already told him everything I know. It's frustrating to be asked over and over about things that I just want to forget. Before he left, I asked if Scott could really be the killer. He said he's wondering the same thing. If Scott was not the killer, then who killed Vivian? September 16th, 1995. Derek came by to see Trisha. I asked him how he's doing. He said that the medical expenses for Wanda were more than expected, even with Charles's help. He's been forced to use up most of his savings. He's currently searching for a second job. He asked me if there was a future for him. Traveling with Charles made him see some of the rather ugly sides of the world. His mother was hospitalized with terminal cancer, and seeing his best friend Trisha like this pains him. I don't know what to tell him. Before he left, he leaned in close to her and whispered, "Would it have been better if Scott just never showed up? Would you have chosen me?" I wish I never heard that. And that's still not the end of Dorothy's writings. Wait. Room key. That's probably to Dorothy's house. One second. There we go. Pendant of Mother Mary. Friday, October 28th, 1995. Scott was released from prison this morning. Matthew went to pick him up. There's a lot of tension here in Painscreek. Most people think of Scott as a murderer. Charles tried to stop Tricia from seeing Scott, but it's no use. She was already waiting for him at the cabin. November 6th, 1995. Charles is drinking again. Couldn't stop Tricia from seeing Scott, yet Scott seems to be avoiding her completely. Tricia should not have been discharged from the hospital at this point. She still needs help and rehabilitation. November 14th, 1995. Derek and Scott fought at the market today. Derek asked Scott why he's avoiding Tricia. Scott didn't say anything, he just walked away. Derek told him not to come back anymore. It's sad to see what's happening to them. They used to be such good friends. November 16th. Why was Scott killed? December 2nd, 1995. Trisha's been going crazy ever since Scott died. She sometimes screams in the middle of the night. Here and there, she'll ask us why Scott hasn't visited her for a while. Nora seems to know how to answer without agitating her condition. December 6th, 1995. Trisha is finally being admitted to the hospital for another mental breakdown. Charles doesn't know what to do. I've asked for his permission to take care of Trisha at the hospital until she recovers. I think Charles appreciates my help. Dorothy Patterson's story. December 26th, 1995. Daughter of ex-mayor found dead at Painscreek Community Hospital. Trisha Roberts falls 40 feet from the rooftop and lands on head and dies. At least we finally figured out why that railing was broken. That's sad. Yesterday morning, the body of Trisha Roberts was found on the grounds of Painscreek Community Hospital. She was pronounced dead at 7:20 a.m. According to Miss Thompson, she was starting her morning shift when she heard some sound near the reception area. She went out to find Trisha lying motionless. Blood was flowing out from her head. She quickly called for Dr. Bennett, the attending physician for the day's morning shift, who brought Trisha to the emergency room at once. Unfortunately, it was too late. The hospital CCTV shows that Trisha Roberts was walking around the hospital around 6:30 a.m. She headed up to the roof at 6:54 a.m. A few minutes later, the body was found on the ground 3 floors below. Trisha Roberts, ex-mayor and father of the deceased. All newspaper articles found. I guess I'm in. It makes sense. I'm in the home stretch. Zero 0526. Yeah. Little sewing kit. A few pliers. Nope. March 8th, 1975. Dear Sophia, how have you been? I hope everyone is treating you well at the mansion. It's been 6 months since my missionary work started here in Indonesia. Life is hard but meaningful. I thought my life at the orphanage was miserable, but after coming here, I realized I'm blessed more than I could ever imagine. I'm supposed to be back in 1 week's time, but I recently decided that I'll be extending my stay here for another 6 months. I haven't received any letters from you for a while, and I hope you're doing well. Remember the time when we were at the orphanage and you said that you don't want to be poor anymore? I think God heard your call and brought you to Painscreek. Charles and Vivian told me that they were glad I introduced you to them. They said that you were a hard-working person with a kind heart, and that us being related was not the reason they hired you. You got the job on your own merit. I did not know whether or not to tell them we're not actually cousins. I feel bad for lying to them. I guess I'll have to tell them the truth someday. Having said that, I'm glad that you are in Painscreek. We can talk and meet any time, just like the good old days at the orphanage. I'll do my best here, and I hope you can wait for me. Best regards, Charles Matthew Brooks. P.S. I have prepared a special present for your birthday. Wait for my telegram that day. August 30th, 1974. I know some people don't like me. Wanda always picks on me and Bernard ignores me most of the time. Andrew, well, he's okay as long as I'm not in his garden. Dorothy cares a lot for me, though. I like her. Tom, our security guard, treats me with respect even though I'm just a housemaid. Vivian and Charles are kind to me. Oh, and Matthew too. I almost forgot about him. He's been taking care of me forever, certainly as long as I can remember. I'm a lucky girl. October 20th. Matthew talks to me whenever he has time. Sometimes I feel like he's trying to escape his chores at the church. We'll talk about everything under the sun, our hopes, dreams, futures. It reminds me of her days at the orphanage. December 29th. Landing a job here as a maid was the best thing that ever could have happened to me. However, I never imagined I would be having an affair with a married man, let alone my employer. Now I'm carrying his child. How do I face Matthew? March 15th, 1975. I received a letter from Matthew today saying that he'll be extending his stay in Indonesia 6 more months. It's always been him. He's always had a noble heart, waiting to help people everywhere. I miss him, but I'm glad he decided to extend his stay here. It gives me time to prepare. I'll explain my situation to him. I don't know how he'll take it, if he just hears the truth blurted out once he gets back. March 18th, 1975. I received a telegram this morning from Matthew wishing me a happy birthday. He told me he had a special birthday present prepared for me. All I need to do is find the clues that he placed at our favorite places. He's waiting for my telegram after I've solved the puzzle. I've actually solved it already, but I don't know what to say to him. What should I do? June 1st, 1975. My baby was born today at 8:20 a.m. and it's a boy. Looks just like Charles. Dorothy's taking good care of us. She prepares the food and attends to my needs. I almost feel like I'm her boss. Charles visits me all the time, asking if we need anything else. I told him he didn't have to come so often, and to instead focus on work. As a mayor, he must have a lot on his mind. June 16th, 1975. Charles told me today his mother Magdalene will be arriving in 2 weeks. She knows about our relationship. I feel nervous because she's a strict woman at the same time. I'm happy she told Charles to take responsibility for me and my son. Soon I won't have to be a maid anymore. Charles has decided to name our child Vincent. I like that name. The story of Sophia Miller. All of her photo lab cleaning every other Wednesday. January 18th, 1996. Dear Dorothy, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for all you've done for me. You've taken care of my store on so many occasions. Its You've helped maintain its bright. Oliver, you have terrible handwriting. It's so small. I'd be lying if I said that I'm not saddened by your departure. I'll be I will greatly miss you. I wish you all the best in your new place. Do invite me there once you've settled in. May God be with you. Best regards, Oliver Gibson. Then this is the photo lab key. Okay. So far we're going in pretty much a straight line from one place to another. Isn't too much. Might as well look around one more time. Helping and serving others in the name of God. Yeah, it's just another one of those books. Honestly, I think the only thing that the presence of those books tell us is that the person's religious. Okay. What else do we have to do? Clawhammer. Bernard and Wanda Tyler's place. The briefcase at the inn. This unknown key with BH on the label. Could it be possible that this unlocks the hunting cabinets. So not just the one that's at the hunting cabin, but also the like axe and the knife could be. And then this is for the photo lab. Uh, let's do the briefcase first.